Am I blurry? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so a friend of mine is downsizing and she decided to give me some of her art supplies. 2 boxes to be exact. So let's jump into this, see what she sent me, and maybe we can do a little art project. So let's get into it. So the first thing I see here is mop brushes. I'm so excited to receive this because I've always wanted a mop brush. The thing is, I don't really know how to use it. I've seen oil painters use mop brushes to, soften the edges or like blend the colors together, the thing that acrylics don't like to do. So a mop brush has never really been at the top of my purchase list. So I'm very grateful I received these. Actually, I received 4. I have plenty of chances to not ruin these. The next thing I see in here, she sent me a couple of white chalk pastel pencils. This is good for drawing out your image on your canvas before actually painting. Usually I just use graphite, but a lot of artists don't like when graphite smudges, like when you apply paints or mediums and things on top. It can smudge and kind of muck up your colors. So a lot of artists will use like a color pencil or a white chalk pencil before starting. I've never used one, so I'm glad to receive them, and I'm going to use this today. The next item I received, they look like cardboard. Like I've never really seen these before. It's like hard cardboard. Maybe it's called chipboard or something like that. It's really hard. And she sent me like different sizes. So she sent me this, and then she sent me like the square size. And I'm very curious about these just because I've never seen them before. I wonder how they'll hold up under the weight of paint, heavy paint, water. I wonder if they'll buckle. So definitely we'll try these out today. And then last in this container, she sent me acrylic paper. Now this takes me back because when I was first starting, I did use, just hit myself in the face. I did use acrylic paper, and it's just really thick. What is this? This is 246 pounds. It's just really thick paper, and it's not only good for acrylics, but you can also do watercolor. I'm actually not gonna use this on our project just because I'm more curious about the chipboard. Okay, so that's all in that box. Let's go to the second. The first thing in this box is gloss glazing liquid medium, and I actually already have this. This one is gloss. I don't think I have the gloss kind, but it says slow drying extender for acrylic color. You can use this to slow down the dry time, blend a little easier, and also to actually glaze. And then the last thing that she sent, and it's like several things, she sent me some paints. Liquitex Basics. So she has like a ton of these in here. Several types of blues, yellow. I'm really excited that she sent me like a ton of greens because, I was on this kick where I wasn't buying green because I just wanted to just mix my greens. But this will save me a lot of paint and time. Really excited about this light portrait pink. Like I've never bought a tube of this color. Burnt sienna, burnt umber, raw umber. I think she's also got yellow oxide in here. Here it is. And those are colors that I use for my portraits, like my dark skin or medium tone skin portraits. So I'm really glad to receive these. Liquitex Basics is student grade paint, but I feel like this is like a really good paint, even though it's student grade. At this point, I do use professional grade paint. When I do my paintings, I use golden. You would think I would have graduated to the Liquitex professional paints, but I do like golden. But for a beginner, if you're wondering, Liquitex Basics is amazing. Maybe a little thin just because it is student grade, but it still works. So very excited to receive these, and we will use these in our project today. So that's it for all our supplies. Let's start on our project.
Here we are, switched over to the top-down view of my workspace. I've got the chipboard, the white chalk pencil, and I'm just going to start by drawing out my image, which is a really close-up view of a nose and mouth. Notice I'm using guidelines to get the proportions right, as I'm using a reference photo. I'm also using the Liquitex Basics colors, Burnt Sienna, Raw Umber, Yellow Oxide, I can't remember which red I'm using there, Mars Black, and Titanium White. And I start by mixing a bit of Burnt Sienna with the red color, as my reference photo has a little bit of red undertone. And then I darken that with a tad bit of black and start with the lips. Lips are actually my favorite part of the face to paint. But I'm just kind of outlining the lips. This person seems to have lined their lips a little bit, so it's darker on the edges. But overall, I tend to start with the dark areas first, either the darkest areas or the lightest. So here I filled in the darkest part of the lips, and then you've got the inside of the nose, the edges of the nose, the corners of the mouth, the area where the lips meet. Those are the darkest areas that I can see. So I just lay in the colors. I'm not trying to be perfect at this point. As a matter of fact, I see a ton of mistakes, but those mistakes can be caught and fixed in the subsequent layers. What's important now is just blocking in, getting the main colors down and next to each other. Now I'm starting in the second layer, adding a bit of thicker paint, adjusting where I see fit and correcting mistakes. It's really like color by number, except there are no numbers. You're just training your eye to see the subtle changes in color and placing those colors for yourself. The highlights typically come at the end. Mind you, this is a very rough painting. It's just a demo. I see a ton of things that need fixing, but since this is just a study, I'm gonna go ahead and place some highlights. I also just want you guys to see how slow the process is. You're really paying attention to what colors you pick, the placement, and how you place it. The face is rounded, so you're not going to be placing harsh lines. It takes a lot of concentration and active thought. Here I am adding the pores and the highlights of the pores, and I realized really quickly that was going to take more time than I wanted to give this little study, so I'll just finish this up and bring it to a close.
Okay guys, that is all. I hope you enjoyed that little demo. Here is the finished painting. Just want to show that you can absolutely do a great painting even if you just have student grade paints. It's not really about the materials that you use, but your skills. So just practice and you can create something beautiful no matter what kind of supplies you use. This was very interesting to know that this is really good. It really holds up the chipboard. So a great thing to practice on, especially if you want something a little firmer than paper or something. Once again, my dear friend, thank you for these supplies. If you guys like this video, leave a comment what you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.